All right, let's look at round 7 of the URC, and let's have a look at, kind of some lineups and predictions as well, who we think are going to win. So I think, obviously a lot of people are going to be away this weekend as well. So a lot of teams are going to be resting their players. As you'll see here, Glasgow Warriors, who's second on the table, playing against Scarlets, who are sixth. So this is tomorrow morning kickoff here, 9 hours away. So you got, if you're looking here, you got Patrick Schinkerling, Johnny Matthews, Finn Richards, Ogunti Beju, Alex Samuel, Ali Miller, Hinko Fenter, Jack Mann, George Horn, Adam Hastings, Kyle Rowe, Tom Jordan, Stafford McDowell, Seb Tanchilieri, and Josh McKay. You can see just, Johnny Williams, Blair Murray, Ian Lloyd, Gareth Davies, Via Fafita, Dan Davis, Josh McLeod, Sam Lousy, Max Doug. And see, I played against Sam Lousy only a couple of years ago, with the COVID times and everything. Marinus van der Merwe, Alec Hepburn. So in all, I think Glasgow will still win this, especially with, neither team actually having all their best players available. I think Glasgow at home will do it. I think Glasgow, it'll be a fairly tight game. I think Glasgow by about 6 points in this one. So as you can see with my Super Brew predictions, this is one I do use for tipping. So I put Glasgow by 6 points. I picked Ulster by 1 point. I think Hollywood bets by 1 point the Sharks, but the team lists aren't out yet. So I'm just kind of guessing if they do play their top teams or not. I think if they play their top team, if everyone's healthy, I think the Sharks win by a bit more, actually. At home, especially. You got Cardiff against Dragons, where a lot of players will be missing as well, and I think Cardiff should pull that off. You got Connacht versus Vodacom Bulls. The Bulls are going to have obviously more players available. Connacht will be missing the key players, I guess, from their international. So I think Connacht wins that. I think Ulster wins as well because they pretty much have most of their top team, where Leinster is obviously missing their whole top team because Ireland are playing. Then you got Edinburgh versus Benetton. I think they'll be fairly close, especially with Edinburgh resting players. I think Benetton may not. So depending on team list, I might change that. If Benetton do play their top team and Edinburgh don't, then obviously I think Benetton will win that. Munster versus the Lions. I think Emirates Lions pull this off. I think my boys, that's my team, the Emirates Lions. Gauteng Lions, I wish I'd call them that, but I think they'll win, especially if we got all our players available, with Munster missing a few players. At home, Munster obviously going to be a bit better, but hopefully we'll get enough to get us through to keep us just to the one loss for the season still. Then you got Zebra versus Ospreys, and I picked Zebras there by 1 point, especially with Ospreys if they're going to be resting their players. I think Zebra will pull it off at home in Italy. It's going to be a tough game. So let's go look at the Ulster one. You can see just by the lineups here: Jack Boyle, John McKee, Slimani, Mangan, Deeney, Deegan, Connors, Conan, McGrath, Byrne, Osborough, Tector, Turner, Lamore, and Jeremy O'Brien at fullback. Then you got, for Ulster, you got Stuart Moore, Werner Cook, Ben Carson, Jude Postlethwaite, Mike Lowry, Aidan Morgan, Nathan Doak, Mike Lowry. It always just reminds me of Bad Boys. Dave McCann, Nick Timoni, James McNaby. Sorry, I don't even know how to pronounce it properly. Kieran Treadwell, Alan O'Connor, Scott Wilson, James McCormick, Eric O'Sullivan. They don't have the top players on the bench, apart from you got Archias name on there, who will bring something. He'll probably play a good 30-35 minutes, I think, off the bench. So I think if, with the lineups, all that at home for Ulster, I think Ulster win it in this game. I think they'll pull it off. And like I said, with the Sharks against the Stormers, I think Sharks win it. There's no Damien Willems, so he's still injured. Yet again, just depends which team they play. But I think if the top teams play against each other, the Sharks win it. And I think they have more depth as well. Then you got Cardiff versus Dragons. I think Cardiff pull it off at home. You got Connacht versus the Bulls. Bulls will win that one, especially with Connacht missing a few players. And yet again, it just depends. If they play the Springboks, if they don't, if they play, if the Italians get to play in this Benetton game and the Scots don't, whatever it might be, I think it comes down to that really at the end of the day. Then you got Edinburgh versus Benetton. And you got Munster versus the Lions, which is going to be a great clash, I think, with the Lions in a 4th place. Munster needing a win. They're all the way down in 12th. And then you got Zebra versus Ospreys to finish off the round. Yeah, both these teams need a win. They really do. 16th and 14th place. So they need a win. They really do. Let's have a look if we can bring up the ladder real quick. You can see the table here after 6 rounds. So you got Leinster up the top with 5 bonus points, 29 points, 6 points clear, 113 points difference. Then you got Glasgow, 23 points. They started off slow with the year. Then you got Bulls with 1 loss, 3 bonus points. So obviously 1 game less played than Glasgow and Leinster. You got Lions as well, 1 game less played with 4 wins, 1 loss. Canucks 3-3, Scarlets 3-1-2, Ulster 3-3, Cardiff 3-3. And then you got Sharks right on the cusp, who's getting stronger and stronger with all these Springboks coming back. You got Edinburgh, Benetton, Munster, the Stormers, who have been very disappointing. And seriously, if these results keep going, they really need to get rid of the coach and get a new one with some fresh ideas instead of, hoarding all these backs and good players all at the same position. Let players go and play somewhere else in their preferred position. So if you're gonna play, Marnie Libok, you got to let Sasha Feinberg go. Or if you're going to keep Sasha for the future, then you got to tell Marnie, hey, the Lions need a quality 10. There's a lot of teams around the world who will take him at 10. Let's be honest, he's still a very great 10. He's just obviously down on his luck with the goal kicking, but Rusty still shows to trust in him, so I think he's got a lot to show, and his crossfield kicking is some of the best in the world. So any team will pick him up, really, let's be honest. But he wants to stay at home because that's where he's from, right? And then Ospreys, Dragons, and you got Zebra to finish it off, who need a win. Ospreys need a win. Dragons need a win. These teams just have had bad results for many years. But that's my predictions there at the end here. Let me know what you think. Do you agree, disagree? Or who you would pick? But yet again, like I said, all these games from the Sharks down, we won't know until, the teams are named. So let me know what you think. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe as well if you want to see future videos so we can keep following the URC and follow it all the way through to the final. And we can see who'll be the winner. If Leinster will actually be able to pull it off or they're going to choke again. These are the real questions. Is it going to be a sneaky South African team popping in there again? We'll have a see. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.